Hi, I'm Dr. Mike.
And I'm Gavin.
And this is NFGeeks. Gavin, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate that. All right, so this episode I think will be a very useful episode because I've actually talked about some of these things regarding myself and just in general as a topic. But because one of the things because I understand is, I have mood disorder and you've talked about your depression. So I think it might be helpful for other people to sort of hear about depression and hear about what it's like and, overcoming it and, all the issues that surround it, both positive and negative. So my first question is, when I say just the word major depression, what does that mean to you? In terms of defining it or connecting yourself to it, anything?
Personally, to me, identify it as struggle. I identify it as, well, personally, in my current state, I see it as a challenge to overcome. But it's not one that can be ultimately defeated. It's one that must be battled quite regularly.
Exactly. No kidding.
Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose.
That's right.
Ultimately, it's a matter of how you handle yourself, how you're prepared, if you're on medication, if you see specialists for it. It all depends. But ultimately, there are ways to come out on top, but it's not always a sure thing just because of the facts that I mentioned. It's very much yourself.
What where would you say you are right now in sort of the winning the battle, losing the battle? Which way what's your current position?
Right now, I've got I'm happy. I've got my foot over the beast. I've kind of conquered it for now. I'm sure it'll come up again. It might come up today, for all I know. It can be that sudden.
Okay.
But
hopefully after this video.
Yes, hopefully after this video.
Yeah, if we can get through 12 minutes, that would be great.
Yes.
Okay, so positive then.
Yes.
On that. Do you go through cycles with it at all? Do you find it stronger at other times, or like either through the year, like winter or anything?
The one thing that I really notice about myself in terms of when my mood is high or low is the weather. Definitely the weather. I mean, if I wake up and I'm feeling bright, I'm ready to start a new day, I open my window and there's nothing but rain in front of me. That basically shoots down my whole day and I'm just completely bummed.
Depressed.
Yes.
For the whole day. What anything knocks you out of it? Anything pulls you out of it?
Usually I personally tend to rely on other people for support, for encouragement, but also for like entertainment purposes and everything else. So if I'm really down and I'm really depressed, I usually reach out and try and get in touch with someone, get in some form of communication with someone, and not try and like dwell on like how I'm feeling, not try and dwell on the negatives that are happening, whatever they may be, but I more just try and like get in like maybe a casual chat with them, maybe just see if they have time to like meet up or something, or just get myself out of a situation that's causing me to be depressed and get myself into a situation where there's at the very least hope to get out of a depression.
Are you making these conscious choices? Like you're fighting it like I need to do this like consciously?
I am.
Yes. So all right, that's really good, boy. Have you had any issues with medication, positive or negative, with any of this?
Medication it can be a tricky issue because first it's a matter of finding the right medicine for you specifically.
Absolutely.
I had a friend who suffered similarly, who for basically the entirety of his high school life was on one medicine, another medicine, and he was up, down, left, right, everywhere, and it was just heartbreaking at times to see him in the mood he was in. But right now, he's very successful, lives on his own, just living a beautiful life right now. So ultimately, it can work out. But first step for him was getting the medicine, getting the right dosage, getting the right type. I mean, me personally, I've been on similar medicine for a prolonged period of time. I was very easy to adjust to. And then I try switching it once, and I get an immediate nausea reaction. So I go back to what I was on before, and I'm turning out fine.
Yeah.
So it all really just depends on the individual on getting their medicine. And then it's a matter of taking it. Taking it can be a serious problem for some people, myself included.
Meaning what?
There was a time where there would be weeks, days to weeks, where I would just forget about my medicine and either think I don't need it, or think I'll take it tomorrow, or think it's not going to affect me today.
Oh, wow.
And all of those things, no, it affects you, and it needs to be dealt with as soon as you can. And in some cases, if it becomes an emergency situation, it needs to be dealt with emergency responses.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Absolutely. All right, I'd like to talk about that a little more, because I'm on medication too, and I take it for bipolar too. I actually cycle through depressions, and there's weird side effects. I don't know if you could talk about some of them. So, for example, one of mine is that I get this weird vertigo where, and Noah laughs at me sometimes. It's not that bad, but it's weird. I'll be driving, and if I come to a stop a little quicker, I get this feeling that the car is moving backwards. Even though my both feet are on the brakes, I freak out and I put both feet on the brake. I have this physical sensation that the car is moving backwards. And I say to Noah, no, is the car moving right now? No, Dad, it's not moving. It's like, oh, thank God. So that's one of the little side effects. What kind of, do you have side effects? First of all, you're taking medication now.
Yes.
Do you have side effects now?
I do not have side effects while I'm on my medication right now.
Oh, that's good. Interesting
note is that once I start falling off the train and I stop taking my medicine for even a short amount of time, I start getting this specific side effect. It kind of feels like a small, little jolt in my brain almost. It feels like I'm trying to jar myself awake. If I look to the left, if I look to the right, I just feel like this little sensation go off in my head. And
wow. So that's like a withdrawal thing. From
yes, I believe it's a part of withdrawal,
yes.
But. All right.
No, keep going, because I'll just edit it. Okay, so it's a part. So you said that it's a part of. Oh, I said it. One of us said it. That it's a part of withdrawal. These things that you were having.
Yes, and as a part of this withdrawal, it's that it intensifies the longer that it happens. Where, unless I'm sitting perfectly still, my head facing the same direction, I'm going to experience these sensations constantly. If I move my head to the left, I get 5 or 6 at once.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
and that's when you stop.
Yes.
Taking it, or right after you stop taking it?
Not right after, but it grows. It gets worse and worse. It could be one little sensation over the first day, and then it becomes 2 over the second day, and then 3 over the second day, and then it grows into 4 on the 4th day, or even sooner, or even later. It's very strange, but it's a clear sign to me that I need to start taking my medicine again. So at least it almost is kind of a helpful form of side effects.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. If I've gone too long, I forget, I think I took it yesterday when I really took it the day before yesterday, because I sleep strange hours. You know what I mean? So sometimes, I slept in the middle of the day and I realize, oh wait, I took the pills 2 days ago now. Things like that happen.
Yeah.
When I don't take them, I start getting agitated, and this weird kind of neurological thing happens that pulls on my body, and I feel it in my jaw, and it gets this weird feeling, and I start moving around a lot, and then I realize, oh shit, that means I did take the pills. You know what I mean? So I gotta take them.
Right.
I'm very hyper vigilant about the pills. I'm always paranoid that I didn't take them. Did I take them? Am I gonna forget to take them?
One thing that really helped me with getting my medication in line was they sell pill boxes.
Yeah, that's what my doctor said. I ignored him. But yeah, I'm not kidding. I know. Go ahead, tell him, Phil. He's right.
Pill boxes are basically
he's right.
Little series of boxes.
Yeah.
They have the letters of each day on them, and you can just fill your daily medication needs in each little box. And if you're not sure if you've taken your medicine yet, you can check the box. And if your medicine's still in there, you haven't taken it. If it is in there, if it's not in there rather, then you've taken it and you're clear for the day. So
Is that what you do?
yes.
Okay. My way is just being in a consistent paranoid state of mind where I'm freaking out. Did I take it? Did I not take it?
You see, I'm of the opposite personality. I'm extremely lax.
Yes, that's right. If you don't do this right, that's why you need it, because you'll know to do it. You know,
Right.
I need to keep it because I'm having a freak out that I didn't take, and I do. I freak out. I have a total freak out. I've actually slightly OD'd because I took it and then I didn't realize I took it and had a freak out that I didn't take it, and then took it again too soon, and then was like wobbly. You know, that doesn't happen a lot of times, but that's happened once or twice already with this. Do you find that it helps? It's made a difference?
Definitely.
Really?
I probably would be in a much worse place right now if I didn't.
Really?
Yes.
That much? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it as terms of positive?
In terms of positive, I would say it's about a 9, because there are 2 parts to medicine. The medicine is not a cure, it's
True.
it's a mediator. It keeps you balanced.
Yep.
So it's really a matter of you having to be able to keep yourself in a positive way while your brain chemicals and everything else are being moderated by the medicine. So ultimately it's been, the 2 huge helps have been how I approach my depression and how my medicine has helped me keep in balance.
What was the lowest point of the depression? What do you feel was the real sort of the lowest point before it got better again?
The lowest point before it got better,
The lowest point that actually forced it to get better.
right, that would have to be probably when I was at risk of going directly into a mental hospital. It was pretty much at that point, like once, like, okay, that's it, I need to get better now.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. Like, I couldn't go any further, or I couldn't. I literally could not go any further. So I had to stop everything and just bring myself back into a state of being able to take care of myself.
Wow.
That's because that's how bad it was getting. I wasn't even taking care of myself.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's exactly what happens. You do stop taking care of yourself at all. What suffered in your life from this, in terms of relationships or school or anything? What were the damaging effects of the depression?
It kind of leaves me, like, for me specifically, it leaves me like isolated. It leaves me kind of like to myself and a little bitter maybe when I'm interacting with other people in terms of my relationships with others. And then a good example of it was when I was depressed for a significant period in high school. I only had 2 friends that even spoke to me. Neither of them were even in the school I was going to. So on the inside, I was screaming, "Somebody talk to me! Somebody talk to me!" And on the outside, I just looked absolutely disheveled. I looked like, "Do not talk to this guy. He is dangerous and he is crazy."
Oh no!
So
that's awful.
So, and even some of the people who I talk to now that I made friends of after the fact were like, "Yeah, you kind of looked like you wanted to be alone the whole time." And I was like, "No, I wanted to talk to people the whole time," and nobody did.
Was there stress on your family at all?
Definitely. Because they were right there. They were the people who experienced it most when I was ever depressed at home. If they even came into my room just to say, "Hey, what's going on? What's happening?" I would snap. I would yell. I would be just completely and totally disinterested. I would be. It could even start as me just being completely distant from them, being as away as possible. And as soon as they show any signs of trying to get closer, I snap. I go at them, and I'm very belligerent until they leave me alone. And then once I'm alone, I feel bad about everything because you're still conscious of being guilty.
Right.
So.
All right. One last question, and that's: have you felt that you've suffered from any kind of prejudice or any kind of being treated badly because people know this and then being treated differently? I ask this because one of the things I always point out to people is having bipolar 2. Everyone sort of treats you like you're 6 years old, and you have to be handled, which isn't the case. But have you ever faced prejudiceness? In other words, somebody doesn't want to talk to you. Somebody starts acting, towards you in a weird way. Has anything like that ever happened?
It hasn't happened to me, but that's mostly because the people I try and surround myself with are very supportive. They're very understanding of the situation that I more often than not experience. So they understand, and they don't try and treat me as lesser. They try and just help, and they try and be as nice as they can and supportive as they can. It really has helped me get along, but I can definitely see how some people would just be against, well, not so much against, but prejudiced.
Yes.
How they would have.
Is there any particular prejudice stereotype that people use, not necessarily from friends, but out in the world, that bothers you about being depressed or depression?
It kind of. This is kind of a stretch, but.
Yeah, it's okay.
I can see someone with a mindset of they're depressed, they're not going to be doing anything, and that's not exactly the case. It's not that you're depressed, you don't do anything. It's a matter of you're depressed, you want something to do, and you feel like you can't. Or at least that's one thing that I experienced when I was in my state of depression.
Right. If I understand what you're saying, the difference between, it's not choice. You're not choosing to be like this. You can't get out of it.
Right.
Because otherwise, if you could choose it, you'd choose it.
Right.
Right. Who would choose depression?
Yeah.
Out of a lot of things, I could have a sandwich, or I could be depressed. I'm going to choose depression. It's crazy. Right. All right. So, Gavin, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Coming on NFGeeks. And, for you guys, follow NFGeeks on Twitter and Tumblr, and come join the fun on the NFGeeks Facebook forum, and new videos every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, Gavin, this was really happening this time. This happened in just a huge way. Yes, and it's enormous. Can't even handle it. Okay, but thank you very much once again, because it's happening.
It's happening.
It is happening.